So first of all, hey, how's it going? How's life? How's stuff?
Oh, I've been on a revival tour for the last 4 weeks or something like that, and it's just been amazing. We've done a lot of gigs all over Europe and the UK. I think it's something like 35 or 34 shows in 36 days or something like that. And we've only got about 6 or 7 shows left, so we're all really tired, but it's just been so much fun, and yeah.
It's pretty good going. It's a pretty long time on the road.
It is.
You said the show's been good crowds.
Yeah, they were particularly good in Germany. They were wonderful there. But we went up as far as Scandinavia, and then we went to Croatia and Italy as well. So we've covered a lot of miles in a pretty short amount of time.
Is there anything you've been on this tour that you've not been before that you wanted to go to?
Lots of places actually, but I can't say that I know them any better than I did before going.
I guess touring probably isn't the best way to travel.
No, we generally arrive at like 1 or something like that, so we have a couple of hours before we have to sound check, and that's it. In that time we just need to shower, eat something, and maybe go for a run like I did this morning. Yeah.
How you find the spontaneity with the revival tour?
I love it. I'm just thriving with it. I really enjoy it. It's been so much fun collaborating with everyone, and you learn so much about yourself as a musician, and sort of and it's just been really interesting to see how the show has progressed as well, because we all met for the first time the night before the tour started in Cardiff, and we had a 2-hour rehearsal. So and then we went and performed the next night. We start and end the show with everybody on stage doing one of their songs and everybody performing with them. So we had to initially just have all these songs ready to go, having not even met before. So that was pretty wild. And then, but as the tour is progressing, we all learned each other's songs. So now, like my set is, I do usually maybe 2 solo songs, but then there's 4 or 5 that everybody else is playing on, and that's been really fun to like approach my songs in a different way as well with different musicians. So it's been great.
Jimmy Lips joining you tonight in Manchester. Has there been any particular guests on any of the dates that you...
We had Ben Queller in Hamburg, and we had, a guy in Utrecht in the Netherlands, Tim something. Yeah. So that was good.
So your last sort of out on a big tour with Frank Turner against me. How does this compare to something like that? Is it?
It's very different. Just obviously the collaborations involved with the revival tour are a completely unique thing, and also the way that the night runs without any breaks in between the acts. So it's just this whole evening that's ideally seamless, hopefully seamless. And then obviously with Frank and Against Me, it was our set, and then Against Me, and then Frank. And that was a crazy lineup. When I first found out that we were doing that tour and the other band was Against Me, I was really just confused as to how it was going to work as a punk band. But it worked really well, I think, having us, the girls, a more sort of folky vibe, and then with the punk band, and then Frank, which is sort of a combination of punk and folk, I guess, and we played with him on that tour in his band, which was a lot of fun too, so it's great.
Yeah, you kind of like gone into the next question, with the similar music style on this tour compared to the Against Me tour.
Yeah.
But Chuck's still like Frank, a bit of the punk rock.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So is that kind of similar, or is it still different because everyone else on the tour is a little more folky?
More folky, yeah, that's different. I think it fits in really nicely. We all complement each other. It seems like a more natural, meeting of different types of music rather than a contrasting.
Yeah.
Speaking of Frank, Feels a June was your latest single. You've known a long time.
Yes.
Was this the first time you guys have sort of collaborated in that kind of way, or?
Yes, it was actually. It's the first recording that we've done together. Apart from the girls and I haven't played on his albums, but it's actually an old song of mine that I did on my first album, but quite a different version. And Frank was the first male vocalist that I started performing it with. So when I first toured with him 6 years ago, we did that 6 years ago. So it just felt like a great thing to finally document that performance.
Yeah, and yeah, again, you played Wembley and the Olympics, and I mean, knowing that guy seems to do pretty well for it.
Yeah,
how was stuff like that, all these big.
Oh, they were just huge and difficult to get your head around, really. Like the Olympics in particular was just nuts. We were put up in a big hotel and like driven in this big bus to the Olympic site. For a week we were there, and we would go and have our makeup and hair done and go and stand on the grassy knoll of the tour, the Glastonbury tour. And with the first dress rehearsal there was 60,000 people there, and you just can't really get your head around that at all. It's especially we all wear in-ear monitors, so it's sort of like standing in a stadium with headphones on, but you're listening to yourself. It was surreal, and just amazing. We had an incredible time. It was just such a buzz. Yeah.
Did you get to meet Danny Boyle?
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was it like?
Absolutely lovely. Such a nice guy. So genuinely passionate about what he was doing, and just had the time of day for everybody. So it was cool.
Yeah, you released Almanac last year.
Yeah.
What was the reception for that?
It was really good. Yeah, really pleased with how it all went. Feels like a long time ago now, I can't really remember. But one of the songs got used in a BBC Two series called The Shadow Line, which was Hugo Blick. He wrote it and directed it and stuff. And, so that was cool to have one of the songs used from our series. But it's been great. We've been enjoying playing the songs, and we've just recorded rather our next album, which we're going to release early next year. Is
that released on tomorrow, or is that
Oh, we're still working it all out, so I can't say anything yet. But yeah.
Did I read you recorded it in Sweden?
Oh, that's a side project album that I did in February this year with the guy who produced my first solo album, Ruben Engzel, and my husband Don. So the three of us wrote all these songs together, and then spent 10 days in a wooden house down in the south of Sweden and lighting the fire. It was freezing. It was minus 16 degrees in the snow. It looked like a fairyland outside. It was beautiful, and we spent 10 days just huddled up in a little room, making that album, which we'll also release next year. So we've got a couple of albums, probably 3 actually. Yeah.
Can I compete with Chuck?
Yeah. See how many I can release in a year.
Yeah. So you got your stuff with Red Fire, your solo stuff. Is all of that coming together on the Revival tour? Are you just picking solo songs?
Yeah, the Red Clay joined me last night, which was really cool in Oxford. That was lovely to see them and have some female company. On a bus with 13 men, but who are all wicked and lovely, so it's not a problem. But I'm doing some new songs in my set and some older songs, and it's quite varied.
We've kind of discussed what's next, but is there anything else, that's coming up?
Yeah.
We might like to know about this.
Yeah, just the new album, I suppose. Yeah, it will be released early next year. We're still getting it all together, but it's all about the concept of home, what home is and where home is, and so I enjoyed writing to a concept.
It seems quite fitting, given the long tour schedule.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks, appreciate it.
And thanks for the session as well.
Oh, no worries.